Does your terrarium look like this?
Oh! Ew! Dude!
Then there are a couple things that you're probably doing wrong. But I'm here to help. Hello my friends, my name is Christian and welcome to our channel. I'm here to help simplify terrariums and teach you about the world of creating sustainable ecosystems. Make sure you stay tuned to the end of this video to understand the most important best practice and why so many people's terrariums tend to die and why yours probably will too. Here are the 5 best practices when taking care of a terrarium. Let's get into it. Are the plants in your terrarium totally overgrown on one side but look like they're about to die on the other? If this happens, you can also expect algae to rapidly grow entirely on one side. This happens because plants grow in the direction of a light source. If one side is hoarding all of that light, then the other is obviously not getting enough. Rotating will allow the terrarium to grow evenly on all sides, making it look healthier and more full. Sometimes terrariums are delicate. They need the right temperature, the right amount of lighting, the right amount of water, or the right type of water. Terrariums are closed ecosystems, so everything we put inside, we can't just take out. With the wrong type of water, we could be potentially putting in hazardous chemicals to the plants like lead and chlorine. Using cleaner distilled or filtered water will be much safer to your terrarium long term. If you live in an area with good tap water, like where I live in Oregon and Washington, or have a water filter at home, those are 2 great, easy, eco-friendly options. If you're not able to do that at home, you could also distill water by boiling hot water and leaving it to cool overnight. Don't be afraid to open your terrarium every once in a while to provide regular maintenance, but don't open it too much and let it dry out. A few months after creating a terrarium, you might start seeing things like algae and moss buildup, overgrown plants, and leaf litter. These are all normal things and will happen throughout a terrarium's lifetime, but too much of it can prevent from light getting in. When you see algae buildup, feel free to damp or wipe it down with a clean paper towel. For moss and plants, give them a light trim. And with many plants, you can use those trimmings in future terrarium builds. As for leaf litter, for the most part, they will decompose into the soil. But if there are too many, go ahead and take them out with something like tweezers. As we all know, light is very important for all plants for nutrition. The plants that we use in our terrariums specifically prefer bright indirect light, which means light that doesn't directly hit it, but almost does. A good rule of thumb that you will always hear me say is to place your terrarium by a north or east facing window. Another great alternative option are LED lights. I have found some cheap LED lights going for around $10 in my local area and online. LED lights are a great option for those that don't get a ton of natural lighting inside their home. A great thing about this option is that they're a consistent light source. You have a lot more control in your environment. You don't have to worry about it being sunny and hot or cloudy and cold. You can control how much light your terrarium gets without relying on a natural light source. So if you ask me, if you're a hardcore terrarium or plant lover, you should invest in some simple LED lights. Just like I mentioned at the beginning of this video, this is the most important tip you need to keep in mind. If there's anything that you remember from this video, let it be this one. Knowing when it's time to water a terrarium can be the toughest challenge for new terrarium owners. At our in-house terrarium shop based in Portland, Oregon, we see that the biggest reason most terrariums die is from overwatering. Once you get the hang of it, it can be easy. So 2 things you want to look out for is the color of the soil and the amount of condensation on the glass. The color of the soil can be a great indicator for when it's time to water. If the soil looks like a light and airy brown like this one, then you know that it's dry and ready to water. Now pay attention to how the soil saturates and changes in color as I water this one. If your soil looks like a dark and mocha brown like after I watered, then you know that it's too soon and too moist to be watered again. The second thing you should look out for is the amount of condensation on the glass. This, along with the soil, are great telltale signs for when a terrarium is ready to be watered or not. Some people tend to think that the water on the glass is not a good thing, but actually it's part of the inner water cycle inside of a terrarium. Eventually that water will drip back down into the soil, re-watering the terrarium, allowing it to last longer. So if you see condensation on the glass, then it is likely the terrarium already has enough water. Keep these two things in mind the next time you need to water. And as a little bonus tip, keep track of the last time you watered. Terrariums can go for around 3 months with a loose fitting lid and over a year with a tight fitting lid. All right, thank you so much for watching. Those were the 5 best practices for taking care of a terrarium. If you got a lot out of this video, make sure to hit the subscribe button and then also follow all of our socials for so much more terrarium content. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.